Boys, this is football brunch. Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super
Crab
excited.
cakes and football. Crab cakes and football. We're ready.
Well, since we all love to tailgate, I have one question for you guys. What makes a great tailgate?
Ooh, strong
Man.
question.
Could go in a lot of directions here. Could go in
Yeah.
a lot of directions here.
Yeah.
Maybe I simplify it. Maybe pick one thing that makes a great tailgate. You walk into the tailgate, you see this thing or hear this thing, and you're like, or see that person, and you're like, okay, this is gonna be a good time.
So I'll go in a particular direction that may be kind of a cop out. But this is the first thing that came to mind for me. And this came to mind for me because organizing tailgates is maybe what I do best. Which at the end of the day, not the most useful skill. It only applies like 6 or 7 weeks out of the 52 of the year. Parenting skills, not as great, but I can plan a tailgate. So I feel like I need to walk into a tailgate and immediately look at it and say, they came prepared. Like this is ready-made for a good day. You don't want to show up to a tailgate and be like, oh, somebody's going to have to like go to 7-Eleven because go back to the topic we had before. Like, well, we got more hamburgers than buns or something like that. Or like, oh, we forgot like the condiments, or somebody only brought like one specific type of beer, no seltzers, no light beer, no anything like you want to show up to a tailgate, see the tailgate games, see the grill already working because the propane is there, right? You didn't forget propane. You got a nice assortment of beer. You got a nice spread of snacks before, like you just I need to show up to a tailgate and feel confident within the first 60 seconds that the person who set this tailgate up came prepared. I need confidence in that tailgate organizer. And thankfully, if you come to my tailgate, you're always going to have that experience.
Yeah, those are all fantastic points, Chris. You're not wrong there. Man, I've like ran through 4 different things in my head and continue to change my mind. But when it comes down to it, it's the people. It's the group you're there with. Okay. Because I thought it's the food. Well, you don't need to have good food at a tailgate. It's a perk. And then I thought it's the beer. The beer can be great, but if the atmosphere sucks, it's still not that good of a tailgate. Then I thought, no, it's the music that sets the tone. It can be the greatest playlist in the world, but if the people suck and you're not having a good time and you're just hanging around eating delicious food, what are you doing there? Go home and do that.
Yeah.
It's the people. You surround yourself with people with energy that are there to tailgate and rock it to the game. It starts at the very beginning. You need some energy. You need a good group of people that is there to have a good time. Tailgating professionals, like Chris said, the organized folk, people that are down and they're hyped. You need a good group energy there.
Yes. The thing that I first thought of when I was going to bring this up, I was like, nobody with a weed whacker, for one. Don't bring them. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but don't bring them. But the first thing I thought of, honestly, was I don't want to be at the tailgate where they have the pregame show, the local radio pregame show playing, and that's all that's playing. That's not what I want. I don't want that at all. I hate it so much because I'm like, we're going to the game. We know what game we're going to. I don't need to hear you talk about Pitt Notre Dame or wherever I'm going. I don't need to hear that. So if you are that tailgate person that has the pregame radio thing playing instead of like whatever random music you want to play, I don't care what you're playing, but I need music playing at the tailgate. I honestly don't even care what it is. It can be country music, it can be boy bands, it can be top 40, whatever it is. But I just don't want to hear that. And when I pull up to the tailgate, as long as I don't hear whoever it is, Pat Bostic talking, I'm good.
No, that's fair. And it's also like really, because I've been to those tailgates. I know exactly what you're talking about, Didi. And like when you're there and you're trying, you're at a tailgate. The big part of it is social, right? So you're trying to talk to other people, but then the loudest thing at the tailgate is somebody talking. It just screws up all those interactions you could potentially have. I really like that one. I think all of ours were. This reminds me of like the cookout recommendation episode. If you haven't listened to that one, go back into our feed, check that one out. There are some similarities I think that could carry over to tailgating. But it's important. Didi, I'm glad you asked this question because it's very important for people to understand. If you're going to go to football games this fall, the tailgate is the one thing that you can control. Okay. The minute you step into that stadium, take it from me, it is out of your hands how good or bad of a time you are going to have. So control the tailgate and maximize that enjoyment. And don't play the pregame show.
I love it. I love it. Well, let's get into it. It's the football brunch episode of the Brunch Breakdown. It's Didi out here in LA. Sorry about the weed whacker. And Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. And today we're going to be putting college football teams at their own separate lunch tables. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're also got a question from Dan that we don't know about. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to build our own college football team as well. And I know these conversations are going to take us to a bunch of different places today. So let's get this thing started with Dan telling everybody where they can find the Brunch Breakdown. Let's go, Dan.
Of course. Yes, you can find the Brunch Breakdown anywhere that you can listen to podcasts on the planet Earth. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio, just to mention a few. Brand new episodes coming to you every Thursday morning. Hit subscribe, hit follow, whichever one you choose, and those episodes come directly to you. Download them, get them on the go. They're ready for you anytime. Of course, full video episodes are also available on our YouTube and our Facebook pages that premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, going live. And then, of course, they're available on demand. Anytime you want to watch those, feel free to check them out there as well. Of course, we're available everywhere on social media, Facebook, Facebook, Twitter. I get excited because I want to say something. Instagram, TikTok, and verified on Triller, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, at Brunch Breakdown. Shouts out to Triller. We look for more collaborations with them in the future. Of course, you can find the Sounds of Brunch podcast or playlist every Friday on Spotify. You got a double stuffed version this past week. We're going to have some good stuff for you there. Always check that out every Friday. And of course, check out our friend, the legend at the Legend Status Podcast, his episodes every Tuesday as well. So it's everywhere.
Beautiful. Well, let's get it started. Bruise Day. Chris, what are you bringing to football brunch, man?
So I'm wearing a lot of blue and gold today for my Pitt Panthers, which just felt right. That's the team I tailgate for and root for and cry about all fall. But since we're talking about football, I also wanted to feature some black and gold. And thanks to friend of the show, Ryan Johnson, he sent me a beer that has black and gold on it. So I'm drinking that one today. Oddly enough, this is a here's a match you probably never thought you'd hear. This beer from Akron, Ohio is a West Coast Citra IPA. And there is a picture of a dude surfing on it, which, I mean, when you think about Akron, naturally, you think about ripping it on those waves, baby. Let's go.
Kelly Slater. Let's go.
Right after LeBron, you think Akron, LeBron, surfing.
Yeah. So Arche Brewing's West Coast Citra IPA. It is it's delightful. It's Citra hops. What does it say? Oh, I wanted to read this. I don't really know what this means, but it's Citra hops that are then dry hopped with even more Citra hops. I don't know what that means, but it probably explains why it's very citrusy. And when it's very citrusy, I like it. So we're drinking it today. Happy Bruce Day.
Nice.
I love it. Well, boys, I'm going to get into more of this on Get It Off My Chest, but I was painting my house today. And I had to run into the house, grab the first thing I saw in the fridge, and it happened to be a Truly, which is going to be at all your tailgates this year, guys. So here we go. Original lemonade Truly is what I'm sipping on today. I have some other stuff in my fridge, but you know what? I was running to get set up because I am outside today. More on that later and Get It Off My Chest. But
I can't wait.
Enjoy. Bruise Day.
Classic, truly. Out in the summer heat, you got to get to our videos and just check out the man, the myth, the legend, and see how he looks in his outdoor studio. Amazing, truly, very truly fitting.
I gotta tell you, Didi, that truly, based on what we're seeing in your setting, is gonna be hotty hot in about 15 minutes. So you better check that thing.
1000%. Yeah. So I'm gonna be slurring by the time we get to whatever we talk about today.
You're gonna be chugging that down quickly or finding some shade. For me, I tried to keep it along with the theme as well. Chris, you went black and gold. I tried to pull in gold. We've got the Panthers blue and gold on. We've got the black and gold on Sundays as well. So I grabbed the most gold can I could find, and something I knew that I love to enjoy any time of year, but in particular, tailgating season, right? You can't be crushing a bunch of craft beer for 8, 6, whatever many hours during a tailgate. Space them out. Space them out with what? Space them out with a Pacifico, baby. You can't go wrong. Everybody knows my favorite beer on the planet, rocking the gold. It just all fit in. The best cerveza anywhere money can buy, and your money is worth a lot less on the East Coast, apparently, when you buy Pacifico out here. So can't wait to get back to the West Coast, have a Pacifico at a regularly priced, amount. But for now, we're ready for tailgate season. We can crush Pacificos all day, still in the warm summer months. So cheers.
I love it. Well, cheers, boys. Brews Day. Here we go. Love it. All right. Well, it's time for today's my favorite segment of the day. Get it off my chest. So Dan is having his bachelor party in the spring. And his best man, Mr. Jenkins, sent out dates for this. And I was, casually just saying the dates to my wife, who of course needs to know when I'm doing things. And the first date that just literally, I saw it in my eyesight, was just April 21st. And she goes, so you're telling me you're going to do Coachella for 5 days and then come back Monday, and then on Thursday, you're going to go to Charleston? I think not. She's like, you're not going on 3 vacations within a month. And I was like, 3? There's only 2. She's like, Dan's wedding is for you. That's not for me. It's for you. That's 3 weddings. That's 3 vacations that you're going on in a month. And she's like, that's just not happening. So she was like, so I was like, all right, but it's Dan. We're doing this. And she's like, yeah, but you're going to have to figure out, you're going to have to save you're going to save some money somehow. I don't know. So I had to paint the house today. Since 11 o'clock, no, 10 till about 2 something, I was painting the brick outside of our house, which is now navy blue. It looks really nice, but I'm telling you, that shit was not easy. And this is all your fault, Dan. All of it is yours. Thought we were going to pay somebody to paint that part of the house. Nope. I paint the brick now because you in your bachelor party. So thank you for putting April 21st on the dates and starting a huge fight in my house. Had to get that off my chest.
If it makes you feel any better, as I knew I threw that out there and I knew that was not a good idea, but I figured, hey, I got to put one April date out there. April's the month I want to go, but I got to throw one out there. It's going to be impossible, but if everybody can make it happen, we'll throw it out there, knowing very well it would be extremely difficult, most especially for you, but for you and I can officially declare that since you've opted out of that week, we are not going April 21st through the 24th. It's not happening without you. So it's going to be tough to get 20 people auto agree on one date. Spoiler alert, it's probably not going to happen, but it won't be that date based on that. So I had a little bit of a sigh of relief when it came in and you said that date is out. But now I kind of feel like I should come and paint your house with you.
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
I'm down. We're due for a trip out west. If that's what it's for, I'll write it up as a business expense for me too as well. This is beautiful. See how we're figuring this out? We're all winning here.
If you guys did if you guys did Dan's bachelor party after Coachella, the bachelor party would be so awful because you guys would just be exhausted. We'd all be like hyped to be there. You guys be like, guys, we just got to sleep. Okay, we got to sleep. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, I didn't know which would be worse, the bachelor party, then Coachella, then the bachelor party. I knew one of those combos was going to make it. And I thought, we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Well, you guys go. Had to get that off my chest. Dan got me in some trouble this week.
Yeah.
Why don't you follow that up, Dan?
Yeah, I can try. Yeah. My sincerest apologies to your wife, Dee Dee. I'll be out to paint the garage next. So for get it off my chest this week, last week I got to experience something that I haven't in a very, very, very long time. Boys, I got to go to a concert last week. First concert back since February of 2020. It finally happened. It was back. It was a little scary, but back. Was able to see the Hella Mega Tour at PNC Park, the most entertaining thing to come through PNC Park in 10 years. That, of course, was the Interrupters, Weezer, Fall Out Boy, and Green Day to finish off the show. For the first concert back, a 5.5-hour concert with like 45,000 people wasn't probably the, way I would prefer, especially with what's going on in the country. But hey, you got to hit the ground running, right? And it was back with a big show. It was the most weird and unique demographic I think I've ever seen at a single concert. You had young children there. You had people our age, which is probably the prime demographic with all of these bands. And then you had like old men, and I mean men in their upper 50s, like headbanging, losing their mind. Like they hadn't been to a concert in 10 years, not one. Very strange. But I want to give you a quick overview and a quick rundown of what I saw from the bands and just some general thoughts and notes. I mentioned the Interrupters open. You may have heard their name before. They're kind of a modern age, new age ska band, if you will. They're known for their song Kerosene that came out a couple years ago. They were terrific. I love what they're doing for that style of music, and they're really, really great. Check out the Interrupters. Then came on Weezer. Okay. Rivers Cuomo looks like a complete weirdo out of the 70s with this porn stash mustache, a mullet, and he had like the jean jacket on. I don't know what was going on, but it worked. First concert back, I really wasn't trying to judge a whole lot. It felt good. And they were on for an hour. I knew every song except for one, which surprised me a little bit. Those dudes got some hits. They've been around a while, right? Weezer's got some really good hits. And they were at Coachella, the last Coachella we went to, and we trashed them the whole time. Deservedly so, but now I was all about it for some reason. They rocked. One thing that happened, though, I kid you not, the one song from Weezer I do not like is their cover of Africa by Toto. Don't like it. Wish they would have never done it. I shit you not. How does the chorus go? I bless the rains down in Africa. When they hit the first chorus, I kid you not, rain hits PNC Park. Downpour. As they're singing that song, that chorus. I will have that story forever, and so will Weezer. They'll always tell the story of Pittsburgh when we played Africa and hit the chorus and blessed the rains, but they didn't hit Africa. They hit Pittsburgh right there at that very moment. So unbelievable. A little unforgiving there. Fall Out Boy came out next. They also played for an hour. Again, hit after hit after hit. How could you not respect what Fall Out Boy has done, even if you don't like their music? They've stayed relevant and present and create really great hits constantly. Patrick Stump, however, got a little stumpy again. Got a little ballooned up. I think a year off the road, he looks like old school Patrick Stump. He needs to get up and get in touch with Chris Gates Fitness because my man, you got to shed those LBs back. I know he's married and everything now, but come on, Patrick, you better than that. Of course, finish it off with Green Day. They went on for an hour and 40 minutes.
Jeez.
which was
Sheesh.
long. But they didn't stop. No pauses, no interludes, no videos. Okay, those dudes, those old dudes, rocked the stage for an hour and 40 minutes straight. Billy Joe Armstrong doesn't age. He basically looked like he just came out of the American Idiot album tour. He doesn't age somehow. And they were just absolutely incredible. I think I literally sang every word to every song. I've loved those guys for such a long time. I want to summarize this real quickly. This is a message for younger generations, okay? And for people our age. Go to a rock concert. Go see a rock show, okay? Go see these bands. Go see Weezer. Go see Fall Out Boy. Go see Green Day. Go see The Killers. Go see Arcade Fire. Go see artists in a group playing instruments while singing, okay? Rock and roll. I don't want to sound like old man rock and roll here, but rock and roll cannot die. Rock and roll cannot die. It's too good. It's so damn good. I know that was the first concert back, so adrenaline was up a little bit, but it was absolutely incredible. Keep rock and roll alive. Keep playing instruments. I love the sounds that computers make, but you got to get that live instrumental sound every once in a while. It was amazing. Oh, and real quick, by the way, don't smoke at a concert, okay? You're disgusting. And you're surrounded by other people. If you can't smoke for 3 hours, then don't come to the concert at all. But again, you know I love concerts, boys. Concert season is back. I got another one next week. I can't wait.
Old man Dan.
That's right.
Chris, get it off your chest.
I'll transition us into football here, boys. I don't think either of you are going to like this, but
Ooh.
I have had a delightful time watching preseason NFL football. I've had a delightful time.
All right, time to cut Chris's mic. Because I did not sign up to talk about preseason NFL. But I guess it's your time. Go for it.
I'm not going to ask for you guys to share your thoughts. Don't worry, because I know that you have none of them. But like, I've just been watching games and I don't even know who I'm watching. It kind of, in a way, feels like I'm watching like a Tuesday night MAC football game. And if you like MACtion, like NFL preseason is basically MACtion, just the guys get put on different teams in different uniforms. So it's kind of entertaining with some of the stupid stuff that happens, but like, I don't know, man. The way the whole past year has been with like last year, wondering what was going to happen with football season. And then like we had a football season, but the storylines were really not talking about football the whole year. And then we get into this off season and like college teams are going to different conferences and we're talking about TV contracts and stuff like that. I have just enjoyed watching a football game and it's just about like the plays and the players and them like actually playing football. It's been refreshing. There's also been fans in the stands, which I know we kind of talked about that a lot last year. For me, having fans in the stands like makes the game seem way more relevant. There's no more piped in fake crowd noise, which made the games last year seem so generic and corny and stupid. I've just really enjoyed it. That's all. And I'm so excited because this weekend there's going to be real college football on, but I've enjoyed watching football because it's just about the game. You know what I mean? And I don't have to focus on anything else. It's been quite a joy.
All right.
I guess I can't hate that. It's a good point. It's a fair point. I won't watch it with you, but it's a fair point.
Dude, can I say though, it's like kind of surprising how many people watch preseason football. Like, not trying to justify my actions here, but like I have clients in other countries that tune in to watch preseason football because like they play fantasy football and they want to know who they're going to draft and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what the ratings are, but they got to be pretty damn good for preseason football just because of that. Because people are going to like bet on the upcoming season. And so they want to see the players now. Like, it's crazy. I never knew how many people actually watched it.
And now that there's less preseason games too, I'm sure there's people maybe want to get more eyeballs in. So it's not so watered down for 4 weeks, however long it takes.
And there's the positive. There's fewer preseason games there. You're welcome.
There you go.
And honestly, this is an interesting year because there's interesting quarterbacks who are drafted. There's quarterbacks drafted every year, but like this one, it's like you actually think, like Justin Fields, I hope is a superstar. Like I hope Trevor Lawrence is a superstar. I don't know anything about Trey Lance or Kyle Wilson, but hopefully they're good too. It's just like there's a lot of quarterbacks that are like on their way kind of out or on like the other half of their career. You know what I mean? Like we've been talking about Matthew Stafford and he might have a good year with the Rams, but we've been talking about Matthew Stafford for so long. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers for so long. All these guys are like on their, kind of on their way out. And so it's interesting seeing all this new blood. So I'll give you that if you're out there watching preseason football. It is slightly interesting. Well, let's get into building our own college football team. Chris, you brought this up. Why did you bring this one up? Because I can't wait to do this.
I really don't. I don't know. I spend in the month of August every year, I spend a lot of time thinking about college football. And this one just came to mind to me at some point. I was like, what if, because like the team I root for is also at the place that I work. So like I have a football team, right? But like, what if it was my university? What if it was mine? What would it be called? What would the mascot be? What would our fight song be? What colors would we wear? Like, these are the things I was thinking about. And I said, you know what? I want to know what Dan and Didi would answer to these questions. So here we are.
I love it. Well, Chris, let us know what you got.
Okay. I will unveil my college football team for you and all the loyal listeners around the globe. Gates University would be, let me pause right there for effect. Okay. I don't know if you guys have like favorite mascots in any sport, really. One that I've always loved, and they're actually ranked going into this year. Sunbelt team, Louisiana, the Ragin Cajuns. I've always thought that's one of the coolest names ever. And so I was thinking about them this week because I clearly have a lot of time. And I was also thinking about like, we're the brunch breakdown. What's my favorite thing to eat for brunch? One of my favorite things to eat for brunch is huevos rancheros. So Gates University would be the Ragin Rancheros, my friend. Okay.
Wow.
And from that magical combination, our colors would be red and yellow and white, but because you can whip up huevos rancheros in a number of ways, we have a number of uniform combinations, one for every game of the season. And because you can dress up huevos rancheros with a lot of different toppings, there is no color that is technically not our team color. Okay. We have primary colors, and boy, do we have a lot of secondary ones for the Gates University Ragin Rancheros. And to polish it off, I was thinking about like, what do you want to hear every time your team scores a touchdown? What's that song that you want to hear? It's not a song that's being played in any college football stadiums right now. But again, I went back to this podcast, the mission of this podcast, the flavor of this podcast. And I could go with no other than our man, Pitbull, Time of Our Lives.
Oh,
I've had the time of my life. Every time that guy crosses the goal line, cue that song up. That's Gates University right there, boys. That's Gates University. So I'm proud to announce to the world the Gates University Ragin Rancheros. We are ready to play a lot of Pitbull this season. I hope everybody's excited.
I can see it now. I can see like the guacamole helmet just has like the topping right there. Maybe a little sour cream going with it. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. The special, the what's it called when the NFL does like the all like same the color rush.
It's avocado week.
Oh man, you guys just come out in all green. The whole place goes nuts. They're like, oh my god, they're wearing the guacs. They're wearing the guacs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I specifically thought about the helmets, Dan. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I saw like a mock-up of a joke college football helmet that had a hot dog on it. And I was like, wait a second. Do you know how many different ways you can make Huevos Rancheros? You could make those helmets to be pretty dope. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
I love it.
Amazing.
Dan, what is your school mascot song? What's happening? Go for it, Dan.
Yeah, so this was hard for me because I came up with a couple and I didn't know which one to settle on. I didn't know which one was better.
You can have branch campuses, Dan. You can have branch.
Okay, let's go branch campuses. I love it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Steel City University, naturally. SCU. Welcome, Steel City University. Main campus, we're the Shield. That's what we're pulling out. We're tough. We're the Shield. We're going black, a lot of grays, a lot of granites, maybe some speckle of some Pacifico Gold in there. And the fight song's an easy one. It's Ya Ya Ding Dong. It's a no-brainer because everyone will get jacked up and dance every time to Ya Ya Ding Dong when we score all those points at Steel City University. Branch campus number 1, the Bobos. Who are the Bobos, you ask? That's Bojangles, and that's our southern campus. All right, that's down south. And the mascot is literally just a bow box, just with some chicken sticking out, some of that dirty rice. You get a little sweet tea lemonade, just a bow box hanging around. And of course, Bojangles jingle. That's your fight song right there. So that's the Bobos, is our southern campus. Who else we got? We've got the Degenerates. All right, we've got the Degenerates. They're probably West Coast. Okay. We're going WWE here. We're going D-Generation X. We're pulling in Triple H and Shawn Michaels as your mascots. They'll be, cartoon-like around. Of course, our colors are black and green, and the DX theme song would be the fight song, naturally. Another one I came up with, this is our space division, the Monstars. Because how has no one ever used Monstars from Space Jam? It's a great name. They've got great colors. Can you imagine the in-game graphics in promotions with Monstars? I love it. So you've got all those colors. Give me a lot of black, give me a lot of red. And since it's all very aggressive on the field, the fight song, we're gonna lighten it up a little bit. I Believe I Can Fly, R. Kelly from Space Jam. That's your theme song right there. That's your fight song.
Everybody's swaying in the crowd every time they score.
Right.
I believe I can fly.
Thank you. You're putting it all together. I love it. I love it. So those are all the branch campuses of Steel City University.
Well, I got to tell you, Dan, for main campus here, all opponents are going to be so extra motivated to not hear Ya Ya Ding Dong play. Like those.
I did have a backup.
Okay, what's the backup?
The first song I came up with was actually legitimate, and it's Steel City University. So we're going Party on Fifth Ave, Mac Miller. We have to use that. We have to use that. So maybe Ya Ya Ding Dong after we're up by like 40 or something, so they don't get too furious. And
play Ya Ya Ding Dong at between the third and fourth quarter.
There we go.
Yeah, kind of like a seventh inning stretch.
That's the dance along, sing along. All right, it's a deal. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I went a different way with my mascot, but I did because with my mascot, I root for two teams that Notre Dame and West Virginia who have real people as mascots. So Dudley University's mascot makes no sense, but it works. It's Ja Rule. That is the Dudley University mascot. It is Ja Rule. And so we will have a student every year. He or she must have a 3.5 GPA to do this. And they will be the representative of Dudley University and the Fighting Ja Rules. And our colors will be black and purple, but they will change different colors every single year. They will change every year because sometimes you just get sick of it. If you have a bad year, you go 0-12 or something. Why do you want to wear the same crappy uniforms you went 0-12 with? Change the color scheme. So we're changing the color scheme every single year. This first year, we will be black and purple every time we score. There will be somebody in the DJ booth because it will not be the announcer booth. It will be a DJ there. And he will just hit Ja Rule saying, "It's murder," every time that we score. It doesn't matter if we're up. It doesn't matter if we are down 48-7 or if we're up 48-7. We are just mashing that button. It's murder. It's murder nonstop. That's what we got at Dudley University.
I love it. Murder Inc. Field. I love it.
Yes. Murda Inkfield. That's right. Sometimes we'll have a student be Ashanti. They'll perform at halftime. Maybe it will be Ashanti. I don't know. You never know.
That's incredible. That's
Yes.
absolutely incredible. I can't wait till the Bobos come and play the Ja Rules. That's going to be an amazing game.
Speaking of the Bobos, you got to work in fixins somewhere with the Bobos. Like,
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know how.
Like the fighting fixins. Maybe that's what it should be. The fighting fixins.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're changing it. The fighting fixins.
Dude, I'm so hyped for Chris's uniforms. I can't wait for the hot sauce uniform. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't wait.
My players are going to be booking NIL deals with like Frank's Red Hot. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. The quarterback's going to be Frank's Red Hot, and like the center is going to be Sriracha. Like it's going to be crazy.
Right. He's in a red no contact jersey. Nope, that's the Sriracha jersey. He's safe.
Because you know how people get so hyped whenever you wear like a certain, like Notre Dame has the green uniforms they always lose in, but everyone gets so hyped when they wear the green uniforms. It's like that's what that's gonna be like, but maybe every weekend.
For sure. Oh man, they're wearing the all sour creams again. I hate those.
Yeah. Instead of a whiteout, it's a sour cream game. Yeah, I love
it. Then invite Daisy. Do a dollop of Daisy.
Now Chris's uniform is sponsored out completely. It's Tapatio over here. It's Tony Chacheries or whatever that stuff is that you use.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be all over the uniform.
That's right. Just basically my entire diet is going to sponsor my university. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. Well, another thing we want to do is in our football preview is put college football teams at lunch tables. This is the best college football preview you've got here, guys. Like, let's go. We're gonna put college football teams at lunch tables where they would go. And Chris, I'm gonna get you started because you are definitely the brainchild of football brunch this week. So we're gonna let you get it started. What schools, or how are we gonna do this? What schools are we gonna put at lunch at these tables?
Yeah. So basically, looking at college football teams, and we're trying to put them like picture yourself in the movie Mean Girls, where Katie or Caddy is getting explained what where she should sit, who sits where in the cafeteria at lunch, right? And they go through all the tables and you see all the people. Well, we picked 4 tables. Okay. We want to simplify it. There are 125 Division I football teams. We could put them all at a certain table, but we're not going to go that far because technically we don't have a time limit, but that's a little bit ridiculous. We're going to go with 4 tables. And these, I think, should resonate for most people who went to high school and ate lunch. You've got the cool kids table, right? Popular people. We all understand that one. Second table is the almost cool kids, almost popular kids table. The third table is the nerds, the dorks, the Steve Urkels, if you will. And number 4 table is the outcasts, right? So I feel like those are 4 pretty good categories. We're going to slot different teams into each one of these tables. So we could go table by table if that works for you guys. Yeah. Where do you want to start? You want to start at the top of the social hierarchy or the bottom? Where do you guys want to start?
Let's start at the top.
Top
for sure. Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go first? We're talking cool kids table. What college football teams get seated at the cool kids table?
Okay. Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson's at the cool kid table because even though every time Dabo seems to open his mouth about his politics, I kind of get annoyed, but like Clemson just seems like a really cool place to be. Like when I see teams up there in the national championship picture, it just seems like everything when you're watching Clemson, everything just seems fun. You guys have been there. Just seems fun. So Clemson for sure. Cool kids.
Yeah. I had Clemson at the cool kids table. No doubt. This one I kind of went back and forth on because this isn't strictly on the field production and things like that, right? There's a little bit more history into some of these. So I'm going USC. I'm going University of Southern California. I think they're just like grandfathered into the popular kids. I think even though they don't always bring the beer, they don't always to the party or whatever. They don't bring the alcohol. They smooch and mooch a little bit, but they're still USC and they're still always going to be cool no matter what. So I think I got to put USC at that table.
That's a good one. I like, cause they even like, especially like, I think like when Pete Carroll was there, they had like celebrities on the sideline all the time.
Yeah.
Like they were,
right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, good looking group.
So there are some obvious and less obvious ones. Like Alabama just like wins all the time. Like they're
always there.
They're at the cool kids table, right? I have a couple though that are like at the cool kids table, but with a little bit of a caveat. Okay. One that I have at the cool kids table, but with a caveat is Ohio State, because Ohio State wins, right? They're always like in the college football playoff and stuff like that, but they're like that cool kid at the popular table that they're at the popular table, but like everybody actually at that table hates them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
yes.
Nobody actually enjoys Ohio State's presence sitting with them at lunch with the popular kids. So Ohio State's there, but they're the person at that table that everybody hates. And then another one I have, this maybe fits your USC pick, Dan. Miami is at the popular table, but they're that kid that's at the popular table that like doesn't deserve to be there at all.
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. Yes. That they shouldn't be there. Other kids at other tables look at Miami and they're like, how in the hell is Miami still at the popular kids table?
Right.
How have they not gotten them away yet, kicked them out yet?
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. Miami, annoying to be at the popular kids table, but they're there for sure.
Do you have anybody else at the popular table?
I thought about putting Oklahoma there.
I had them too.
They're just always good. They get on the field stuff. It's like they change the coach, they change the quarterback. Doesn't matter. Always consistent. I think they're at the popular kids table. I think they are. I think they're that good.
That's fair. So we have Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Miami at the popular kids table. Didi, would you add anybody to that list?
I would take Alabama out of the cool kids table.
Oh,
Here's why. I would put them at the jock table because I don't know if anyone really likes them. Does anyone really want to hang out at Alabama?
So they're in the Ohio State. Them and Ohio State are in the same boat. Nobody really likes that they're there.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Like when I think about like the cool kids, I don't know if I necessarily am like, Alabama is cool. They're good, but cool. I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah,
that's fair.
Kind of in that same boat there.
I feel like I had Alabama there because like they're that cool kid that like in high school, like that kid is like going to go get a scholarship somewhere big, and so everybody wants to be around them because they think that kid's going to go to the NFL one day. Like that's Alabama. But I agree with you. I don't think anybody really wants them there.
Yeah.
Or wants to hang out with them.
Yeah, that's true. These are good points.
Anything else for the cool table, or should we move on to the almost cool table?
Yeah, let's go almost cool table. I think this one's going to be far more interesting.
Okay, kick it off, Dan.
Oh boy, where do I go here? Michigan. I'm going to put Michigan at the almost cool kids table. They feel like they should be there, but they're really not. They're not quite. They're close, but they're not that close. They kind of try to sneak in. Yeah. Michigan. They used to be at the cool kids table, and they're not anymore. And they're wondering, they're like, it's like, what happened to Michigan is that they stayed at the same physical table, but those cool kids just started going off one by one and they ended up sitting somewhere else. And Michigan's like, why are we changing tables? This is the table. And now they're sitting around with other people and they're like, who are these? And then they become their friends. And that's Michigan.
I had Michigan on the list too. And what I put down was like Michigan's at the almost cool table because like their older brother who went to high school 4 years ago was really popular. And so they're like a legacy. And so they're like kind of popular by association, but nobody actually likes them.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Mainly because I want to add somebody to the cool kids table. And it just reminded me of something. You would think they'd be at the almost cool kid table, but Miami, put them at the cool kid table because everybody wants Miami to be good.
Yeah.
Everyone does. Like, I feel like there's not one person who's like, oh man, when Miami starts out 4-0, like it seems like they do every year. Everyone wants them to be good, but they're not. But like everyone is still just like, we want Miami to be good. So I want to put Miami at the cool kids table and unfortunately put Notre Dame at the almost cool kid table. Mainly for the same reasons, but nobody wants Notre Dame to do well.
Yeah.
You
I have
got anybody else, Chris? Yeah. Who else you got?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got a few. Okay, wait, which way do I want to go here? I have, so Penn State is at the almost cool table, but they're at the almost cool table because like they won't stop annoying people about the fact that they want to be at the cool kids table. Like they're so persistent and annoying and telling you about how they should be at that table that like you reluctantly let them at the table just so they'll shut the hell up. That's Penn State. They're at the almost cool table.
They're like, we hung out with USC and Clemson over the weekend, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
and they tell you, they tell you how many people showed up to their party every single time they have a party.
You hung out with them, but you drove them there as the designated driver. I think that's why you hung out with them. Weren't you the ride, Penn State?
Yeah.
They just get way too hyped. It's like the cool kids look at them. They're just like, I mean, I guess we'll invite Penn State.
Yeah.
Like that's your friend. Like whatever. Like we'll have them come.
I have North Carolina. They're at the almost cool kids table. Pretty much only because like their parents are rich. And so people let them sit there. That's it.
That's good. That's good.
Their big brother is really good at basketball.
Yeah. So that's a great point. They're kind of like Michigan, right? They're like older sibling did something great. And so they get credit for shit they didn't do.
Yeah. What do you think about Florida? Florida's just like always on that cusp, but they're never there. They can't live up to older brother, to big brother. It's like they were there, but it's been another generation in between. It's like, no, that was your uncle. No, your uncle used to sit here. Your brother did not sit here. Okay. So no, sorry. So Florida, almost cool. A little bit of cool, but not quite cool kids.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Throw Florida State there too.
Yeah. Put them there together.
Yeah.
The last one I have is Texas. And Texas is at the almost cool table, but nobody knows why. Like they don't ask to sit there. There's no vetting process. They just like everybody's already sitting down at lunch, eating, talking to each other. And then like Texas just sits down and just like stares at them while they eat. That's Texas. And they're there.
We don't know why Texas is at that table, because one of the cool kids, like Alabama, faked an invite to the almost cool kids table, and Texas is like, "Oh, cool, I got invited here, right?" And they're like, "Wait, what are you doing here?" I got an invitation. I got an invitation. I'm Texas.
Yeah.
That's legit the best way to describe Texas going to the SEC.
Yeah.
Like them just all of a sudden showing up, and it's like no one even knows why they're there. They're just sitting there like, hey.
Yeah,
that's it.
Why are you here? Somebody called. I don't know. Somebody called.
Anybody else almost cool? No. Can we go into the nerds then?
Wait. Wisconsin.
Ooh.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? That's a good one. That is a good
That's
one.
perfect.
Dude, Wisconsin, like, almost dates the cool girl every single season. Like,
Yeah.
every single season, it's like they get to dance with the hottest girl at school at homecoming, but then, like, by the
They don't go home
time
with
the
her.
winter formal comes around, they go to ask the girl out, and she's like, I don't even know you. That's Wisconsin.
Yes, that was perfect.
Wisconsin's like, they like all like the kid in high school that like makes the team because he or she is like just physically bigger than everybody, but like not necessarily more athletically gifted, right? But like the team needs a center. So you're on the basketball team or you're on, the football team. That's
Chris, after we go off the air here, I'm telling you exactly who you're describing, and that came to mind when we went to high school. So don't let me forget that. You basically just described somebody.
Okay, no, I'm so glad you said that, because as I was putting these lists together, and I'm not going to say who they are. It's not going to happen. We'll stop recording and talk about it. For each one of these teams, I specifically pictured individuals that we went to high school with.
Oh, that's even better. You got a list. I can't wait.
To be clear, Dan and I were at like the band nerds table, and I'm pretty sure Dee was like at the popular table. So we were all sitting at different tables in the cafeteria, which is why I enjoy putting this practice together. But regardless of what table you were sitting at, you do this at home. Do this at home. Send it to us. What's our email? thebrunchbreakdown@gmail.com.
Thebrunchbreakdown@gmail.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Send us your lists and tell us if you were able to do this without picturing specific individuals from high school. I promise you can't do it. Okay, let's go to the nerds table. Who's sitting with the nerds, the Steve Urkels, as I like to call them?
Stanford, easily. Stanford. And they're like king of the nerds, and they win the competitions, and yeah, they perform. They're not just nerds on the outside. They don't just look the nerd. They play the part through and through. So first one that came to mind, Stanford.
Yeah, I had Stanford on my list too, but I marked them down as like there's always like a dorky person who's like who more or less gets along with most of the cliques, though. You know what I mean? Like they're not teased by everybody. And I feel like Stanford's that, because while Stanford is like the brainiacs, they're typically pretty good at football. So that they're like a respectable nerd.
I can't wait until you tell me that that's me when we're done with this podcast, that was who you came to mind. Drum major and homecoming court. Come on, respectable nerd.
Let's go. Let's go.
Northwestern.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Big nerd, big nerd table.
Big nerd country.
Because, man, people who go to Northwestern, and like so many people in like broadcasting went to Northwestern, and like I feel like none of them I'd ever want to hang out with, ever. Big nerds, Northwestern, and they're always like never really good, but like they're smart.
Yeah,
It's
Northwestern.
a good one.
That's a good one. I have Duke on this list because we're talking about football. I have Duke on this list, and people are just constantly asking why are you even here? That's a person where like you're a nerd. You walk into a room, people are like, why are you here? Just go away. Just leave. That is Duke, because I don't know. They're just, I feel like they're not relevant at all for football. Even when they're good, people are like, I don't care. I don't put a different game on. I don't want to watch Duke. So yeah, Duke at that table for sure.
I've got UCLA at that table, and they haven't always been at that table, right? UCLA is like the hot nerd, like the good looking nerd, right? And you're like, I swear you used to sit over there with those people, with those cool kids and almost cool kids, didn't you? No. I'm here with you guys, right? And they're like, they think when they're at that table, and sometimes they are cream of the crop. They're the top of the nerd table because of where they came from, how they appear. UCLA, that's where you belong.
I love that one.
You're saying UCLA is Laney Boggs and UCLA has paint on her overalls, and it's going to take Freddie Prinze Jr. to get her to escalate her status. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's going to take somebody like Clemson's going to have to reach out a hand and be like, come on back. We know you belong. You know you belong here, right?
Alabama's going to have to challenge Clemson to a bet to see who can turn one of the nerds into a college football playoff contender is what's going to have to happen.
Yes.
That's a good one. You guys know there's like a new version of that coming out like this weekend, Friday.
She's all that.
He's all that. He's all that coming out on Netflix.
I heard about this.
Week.
It's like a reversal, right?
Yeah. And what's her face is in it. Like Rachel Lee Cook is in this one. She's the mom of the girl who is popular in this one. And she's changing the dude. Yeah.
Interesting.
Trailer looks pretty sweet. Cool. Random. Side note. In between your college football watching, he's all that on Netflix.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know who else to add. Do you guys have anyone else that you want to add to this? Because this table was kind of hard to add, like the real nerds of college football, like, or who you automatically know their football team's decent, but those ones, like,
I have one more. And follow me here. It's Syracuse. Because Syracuse, as a private school and as a journalism school, media school, whatever, like they're the nerd that won't shut up about how smart they are. All the time, just telling you like they're the top of the valedictorian list. Syracuse, 100%. You're at the nerd table and you won't stop talking about how smart you are. That's my last one.
Yes,
that's beautiful.
That's a perfect one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, so what's the last table we got here? Outcasts.
The Outcasts.
Oh boy. I've got one. The Big 12. All of them. You're all at that table. What's left of the Big 12? You're all there. Congratulations. In pity with each other.
It sucks because I was going to say West Virginia for sure, because I don't know what their future is after 2025. I have no idea. Like
they're at the
table just looking around like, I don't know where I belong. I have no idea. I have no home.
Yeah. Well, so I had West Virginia on my list. That was the first one that I wrote down. And not only because their conference, they like don't know what's going on, where they're going to be in the future, but just like they're also the person that shows up to the party dressed just strangely, and nobody kind of nobody can figure out their vibe. You know what I mean? Like just
they're like, do you even live in this neighborhood? Did you come all the way to this party from where you live? Don't you live on the other side of town?
Yeah, exactly. But then they like barge in the door of the party like they own the house. People are like, whoa. Okay, take your weird animal hat off and like, let's pump the brakes here for a second. Who are you? What's going on?
Get the fire away from the couch. What are you doing? We're here to have a party.
Listen, that was a very good explanation of what happens when somebody from West Virginia comes to a party. This is very good. This is very good. But we're also the ones that leave with the girls, and you're like, who'd she leave with? The guy from West Virginia. Why? Because of everything you just said.
Oh man.
Interestingly enough, I had UCLA at the Outcast table because I feel like in their own city, they're like no one even knows that they're around. I feel like it's like USC is the big team, and then UCLA is just like hoping someone will pay attention to them, and then nobody has for so long that they're probably like, okay, well then I'm just going to be my own, I'm just going to tread my own path and hire Chip Kelly and try and make 2012 Oregon happen, and it can't happen. So I had UCLA at this table, but once you described them as a nerd, I also felt like that made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They can flip-flop back and forth between those tables for sure. I put Cincinnati in this table because they're like the only ones in their group of friends that's somewhat known, somewhat successful, right? And they can't get out of that group of friends. They want to hang out at the almost cool kids table. They're not even looking at the cool kids table. They want to hang out at the almost cool kids table, and they still can't get there. As much as they do, as hard as they try, you're still Cincinnati, and you don't go here yet. You don't go here yet. Okay. We haven't allowed you to come to our table. So they're still on the outside looking in, and probably will be forever. And they used to have a cool group of friends called the Big East. They used to, and they left town. They're gone. They're at a bunch of other tables now, and they don't know how to get that invite back. They don't know.
Boise State is at the Outcast table.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the ones sitting on the Outcast table, looking over at the almost cool kid table, thinking they should be at that table, not the cool kids table, the almost cool kids table. That's what Boise State is always doing. They're like, oh, hey guys, hey guys, we're 11-0, we're 11-0, we're 11-0, I'm 11-0. And while everyone else at the Outcast table is just like, dude, will you just like sit down, like eat your fucking lunch, dude? Like, what is like, they don't want you over there. Like, they're not looking at you. Like, we just don't care. But yeah, Boise State got
invited to the almost cool kids table for lunch one day. Like, hey, why don't you come have lunch with us tomorrow? Oh, great. And then there was like back-to-back snow days. And then they went into school the next week, and they didn't even look at them. They're like, ooh. And that invite never came back. And they've been looking ever since.
Poor Boise.
Yeah.
I have UCF at the Outcast table, and they're like the Outcast that like when they come to lunch every day, they come into the cafeteria ready to make a scene, ready to like make people notice them. But then like, unfortunately for them, like the way they get noticed is kind of like unsavory, and people are just continue to push them to the side. That's UCF once again, with some of the teams you guys mentioned, like really wanting to be at that almost cool table, but they make too big of a scene. They're not reliable to invite to parties. UCF, you're at the Outcast table.
They like end up getting arrested. It's like, like it's
in
like,
school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly who that kid is. And if you are not picturing the kid that you went to school with that actually got let out of the high school with a police officer, that kid is UCF. Oh my God, that's perfect. I am picturing a person, and I'm going to send him a UCF t-shirt. That's what I'm going to do after this podcast.
I love it.
Unbelievable. Anybody else at the
no, that's a big table. I don't got any more chairs left over here.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on at that table. There's a lot happening.
There's a lot of personalities at that table that just don't want to be at the table, and then people who are perfectly fine being at that table.
Yes,
yes. There's like a
different emotions.
infighting.
Yeah. I don't want to be here. Well, we want you here. We like it here.
Well, I hope for everybody listening that, this helped you prepare for the upcoming season.
Hopefully you learned and you're ready. Yeah.
lots of valuable information for when you go to bet money on football games this fall. I hope this helped.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Bet on Wisconsin until October 15th.
Right.
All goes downhill from there.
Oh.
Well, Dan, you have a question for us. It's Danny's choice on the Brunch Breakdown. What you got?
That's right. Instead of doing brunch court, we're going to do something a little bit different here today. Since we're talking football, we're talking tailgates and things like that. And I have a very simple question to ask both of you, but the answer may not be so simple. So say, hypothetically, you get to choose one food and one food only to have at your tailgate all season long. It's going to be the same food every week, no matter what time of year. So fall and into winter. What is the one food that you're going to rely on and have every week as your only tailgate food all season long?
And food. This is specifically food.
Specifically food. And like traditional tailgate food.
Okay.
Right? I don't want to hear lasagna, some wild shit like that. Traditional tailgate food that you would normally see. What if you had to have only one, could only pick one all year long, what's the go-to food that you're going to be able to enjoy all season? A lot of thinking going on over there.
Hot dog.
Really?
Yes. I want hot dogs. it's easy tailgate food.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there. There's not a lot of messiness when it comes with the hot dog, like it is with a burger. Burger is a little tough. Hot dog, one hand, another hand with the drink. Walk and talk, hot dog. That's it for me.
Okay. Hot dog. Chris, you got one yet? You need a little time to think there. It's a serious question.
Yeah,
tough.
this is so difficult.
Well, let me make it more difficult for you. I think I'm going to go with the grilled brat. Give me the grilled brat, and I'll tell you why. Because as Pitt fans, we have games at noon often. So we need breakfast tailgate food. Then as the year gets later on, then we have lunch tailgate food. And eventually for those late night games, the dinner tailgate food. And the grilled brat, you can have any time of day. It's good for any meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Easy handheld device, just like the hot dog is. I think you get a little bit more flavor. And when you get into those colder winter months, you go with the hot or the spicy brat or sausage, and it gives you a little warm up there, because you got to think about that. You got to have something that's going to keep you warm, but not too warm for those end of summer and early fall games. So I'm going to go grilled brat there.
That is a great choice.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point, Dan, and like, we always think about East Coast, but like, I know a lot of the Big Ten schools, I didn't even know this was a thing until I met my wife, that they have noon kickoffs, which means their games actually start at 11 a.m. Midwest time, so it's noon to us, but it's 11 a.m. So there are probably for most schools, the majority of your tailgating time across the entire season is going to be in the AM hours, at least partially for each game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so breakfast is important, but I don't want to go full breakfast food. I feel like you could slide a burger in there at like 10:30, 11, and it's not too awkward to have an early lunch at that time. And with a burger, I feel like you could dress it up different ways throughout the season, and depending on the game time, to make it work. I think I would go burger. But this is really, really difficult. I don't like this question.
Let me throw one more out for you. Now, this is for more of a little bit of a professional level tailgater. Okay. So this isn't traditional. You got to know what you're doing.
This is that guy that shows up and knows what he's doing, right?
Yes. And our friend Corey knows exactly what he's doing when he gives us the walking taco.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The walking taco could be, and it's sophisticated, but simple and delicious, right? It's not something you have all the time. Shouts to you.
I've never heard anything.
The walking taco.
I've never heard anything that came out of a Fritos bag called sophisticated before.
Sophisticated, simple, and delicious. There it is. There's a new shirt. A walking taco.
Sophisticated. I love a walking taco, but one thing I have never thought about it as being sophisticated.
It is.
Nothing about the way you eat it is sophisticated. Nothing about the way it's sophisticated.
Together, it's amazing. So there's kind of another one that I think would be a good choice for all season long. Good for fall, good for winter.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Chili?
I wouldn't call that I mean, that's just
it is though.
Make.
But see, here's the thing. Where you go depends, because I'm surprised at some of the places you guys have been. Maybe it'll be different when you guys go to Tennessee. But like, when I went to Louisville for a game, it was crazy how different the food was. Like, everybody had pork chops. Like, there were no hamburgers and hot dogs. Everyone had pork chops and chili. And it was so bizarre to me, but it was also delicious and cool. So like, I mean, I guess wherever you're at, let us know, what your tailgate food is, because I think it might be different depending on where you are. We're all from the same area. So like, what we drink is different. Moonshine in West Virginia, but like, you know, the food is the same. But depending on where you go, I'm interested to see what you guys end up eating when you go to Tennessee. I'm very interested in you guys telling me the tailgate scene when you guys go there.
It's going to be wonderful.
Because I think it's going to be different.
Yeah. And another great answer to this. Now it's coloring outside the lines a little bit because I said a food, right? But get a bow box from Bojangles any time of day, any time of year. The Fightin' Bobos will sponsor you. Get the Fightin' Fixins there. Let's go.
Fightin' Fixins.
That's the only tailgate food available for our games at the Fightin' Fixins is the bow boxes. That's the only you can get.
That's where we're gonna be. That's where we're gonna take to Tennessee, right? They have all this like traditional fare in Knoxville. Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna show up with a bunch of bow boxes.
Get a big tent and one bow box. Let's go. Yeah, it's a great question, Dan.
Yes.
I don't know that I feel great about my answer, but that's my answer. But that's a good point, Didi, that like traditional fare is very regionalized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hit us up at Brunch Breakdown. Let us know wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world, what's your go-to and what are you having all year long? We're very curious to hear what people are having around the country. It's a good point.
All right, well, guys, let's get into what we are listening to. Dan, get us started. What are you listening to? Actually, wait, let's check that. Chris, what are you listening to? You weren't here last week.
Ooh, right. Fair.
Well, the first song I'm going to put on the playlist is my fight song. So we're going to put Pitbull Time of Our Lives on the playlist because some people have tailgates coming up this week, and I need you to get ready to score some touchdowns. So let's get that on the playlist and rock out. Okay, enjoy.
I love it,
Dolly.
I'm not going to go in that direction. I'm going to provide you some other songs. That's fine. Maybe I'll sneak Yaya Ding Dong in there. Anyways, Party on Fifth Ave, that you'll agree to. I'm going to start off with Remy Wolf. I put her on the playlist a few times in the past. It's probably been over a year now. Songs like Woo, Monte Carlo I put on there, but she released a new song called Quiet on Set. And her style and flavor is very unique. Funky, jazzy, hip hop, alternative, all into this mash of gold of a song. I love the uniqueness of her sound, and it's really clear in this one. A lot of different stuff going on, but it comes together so well. So Quiet on Set by Remy Wolf.
Nice. Ed Sheeran put out a very depressing song this week.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's called Visiting Hours. And if you like Ed Sheeran, like, you're going to love the song. If you don't like Ed Sheeran, you're going to hate the song. But this is classic Ed Sheeran on this one, not like the single that he has out, recently that I'm still not sure if I enjoy or not. But anyways, this song is just like, you wanted an Ed Sheeran song that's going to make you cry? This is it. Visiting Hours by Ed Sheeran.
Classic Ed.
Classic.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about his new single either. The one that's been.
Yeah, I need the rest of this. I need this new Equals album to really peel the onion back to see what's going on there. I'm still undecided.
Yeah, it's just kind of there. It doesn't really, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do anything for me. But yeah.
Peel back those layers of Ed.
Yes.
Here's a song that's 10 years old this week. Calvin Harris. Feels so
That's what
close.
That's what Chris thinks this segment is called, by the way.
I can't claim I did the research, but something popped up on my feed and it was like, hey, these songs are 10 years old. So the next two songs I have just celebrated their 10th anniversary.
Happy
but
birthday.
Check it out. This made me feel old as shit. Calvin Harris, Feel So Close, is 10 years old. That's ridiculous.
Wow. That is.
I don't like it at all. So we're going to put it on the playlist and we're going to have a terrible time. Enjoy.
Yeah. Well, something that's going to make you have a good time, I think, as a song both of you will enjoy. It's a song I cannot stop listening to. It's that good. A weird kind of, well, not weird anymore, combination of people. The Dirty Heads, Travis Barker, and Amy from The Interrupters, who I talked about earlier in the podcast, was opening the show of Hell Omega Tour, great ska band. So again, that's Dirty Heads, Travis Barker, and Amy from The Interrupters. And the song is called Rage. This song is so catchy. It's reggae, ska, and punk coming together in this unbelievable jam. of a song. We're running out of time of summer, people. This is one of the final windows down summer volume up songs to do and play in your car. It's off the Best of the Dirty Heads album. So it's a single that they threw on there, a new one. Very uplifting, dancey beat to it, as you would expect from like reggae and ska, but you still have some of like the grittiness from the lyrics about rage is the name of the song. So I love it. I can't stop listening to it. Rage from Dirty Heads, Travis Barker, and Amy from the Interrupters.
All right. So I was watching the new version of Gossip Girl. There's a new Gossip Girl reboot on HBO Max, 6 episodes. And it made me realize what I want to do for my career, I think, or at least one time. I really, really, really want to like score a TV show or a movie at some point. It's really bad because I keep watching these things and I'm like, the music in some of these things that I watch are just like, it's so good. And I don't know where it came from, but like somebody's job was to scour through every kind of music and figure out what works for this scene. And there's this song that comes in the last scene and it's called Dion by the Japanese House featuring Justin Vernon. And it is unbelievably good. This song is ridiculously good. And it almost changed my career path. Is how good that song is and how it felt while watching that. So check that out.
You know why I had the look on my face that I have on my face right now?
I know it's coming.
Yeah, because
it's coming, isn't it?
That song's been on the playlist before. It changed your life this time, not last time.
Dan, I'm putting you at the nerds table. Okay?
Yeah, that's
because
this
is.
Yeah.
No, you two are the nerds because you don't listen to the playlist because you keep repeating.
No.
You're
the nerd that like does his homework 2 weeks before it's due. Okay, and then me and Didi turn it in.
And I'm giving it to you. Giving it to you though.
Me and Didi
answers. They're right. I promise you.
Me and Didi turn our work in on time. And then you're like, well, I solved that equation 2 weeks ago. When it's not important. We all got our work in on time. Okay.
Yeah. He's definitely the kid who the teacher is like, looks at him and just like, we get it, Dan, but we're not on that chapter yet. Like, we get it. You read ahead. We understand, but we're not there yet. So like, could you just
I'm giving you guaranteed answers. But you turn it in. You're like, no, these aren't right. These aren't right. Boy, I'm going to go back and sit with UCLA. At least they're hot.
Well, since I didn't like your reaction to my last song suggestion, I'm changing it up. And I'm going to give you something from Settle Your Scores album that just came out. Retrofit is the name of it. I don't know what song I'm going to put on the playlist yet, but brand new album that came out. I did put Meant for Misery and 1999 on the playlist several weeks ago. But the album just came out. I've listened to it a couple times. I really enjoy it. A lot of energy, I don't know. They're just one of the best pop punk bands out there. And I'm super pumped that they're back because this is their first full length album in 6 or 7 years. So I will figure out a song to put on the playlist and I'll put it on the playlist. And it has been released within the last 7 days. Is that better?
There you go. Yeah.
And I'm not going to put Macklemore on, which I was, because that song Can't Hold Us is also 10 years old and it makes me feel old.
Wait, that's 10 years old?
Yes.
Wow.
That hurts.
Now we're sad again.
That one hurts. Damn.
Last one I have is FJ Law, artist by the name of FJ Law. It's a solo project from singer and songwriter named Danny Hall. And I'm drawn to this because A, his name is Danny, and B, the song name is Catching 22. And we rock double deuces over here at Steel City. So this is from his debut EP that came out actually a few months ago. Just discovered it within the last week or two. It's kind of got a smooth, laid back indie pop vibe to it. So quite the opposite from Rage, which I gave to you before. I like how he describes his music. He says it's music to walk your imaginary dog to. And that has a whole lot of meaning, but none whatsoever at the same time. It's just like a walking taco. I love it. So FJ Law, Catching 22.
Music. I'm like stuck on music. You walk your dog to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Topic for next week. What song do you walk your imaginary dog to? Go.
Oh man. All right. Last one here is Young Thug put out a new song. He's got an album coming out in October. It's called TikTok, and I love this song. It is really good, and Young Thug just sounds really, really good on it. And it is a fun song to it's weird to say end out summer, but we kind of are here very soon. So turn this one up. TikTok, Young Thug.
There it is. Another amazing playlist.
Yes.
Well done, boys.
Another one. I love it. Another amazing podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well done. Yeah, of course. We had a lot of fun. We didn't talk X's and O's here, but we found a way to have a lot of fun with it. So hopefully everybody else did too.
Well, any final words?
My apologies to UCLA because none of the tables they were put at were good.
Yeah. I'm rooting for UCLA this season. Yeah, I hope they have. I hope they win whatever's left of the Pac-12.
UCLA week 0, they play this Saturday against Hawaii. So go Bruins.
That's true. Yeah, go Bruins and Chip Kelly. The fighting Chip Kellys.
Yeah.
Rooting for
Where's the game?
It is in LA because it's like a 3:30 kickoff. So it has to be in LA.
All right. Yeah. Wow. UCLA and Hawaii. That's a fun one.
You've waited all year for it.
Yeah. That's a fun one. My God. All right. Well, that's been the Brunch Breakdown. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias, listen to the podcast everywhere, and check out the Sounds of Brunch playlist on Spotify. It's Dee, Dan, and Chris. We're out. Peace.